we'll make 197K based off of, I think it was 17,000 pieces of mail so far. And then we still have 7 other contracts that we're working right now. I think it was 7. So potential pipeline just in those contracts, we're talking about like almost close to $500,000 if everything goes as planned. But we're seeing a lot of them like fail and fall through, and it happens, like normal stuff,
Nice.
So
yeah, it's like a great group. There's a ton of value, and especially these kind of things that you guys do. And so yeah, I'm not new to real estate. I'm a commercial real estate agent.
Okay.
So 6-7 years. I wholesaled houses for a little bit before, like when I first got into real estate. But yeah, I'm super jazzed up about all this.
Love it, man. Yeah, I've been in real estate since 2010. So I've been flipping houses. I've been, buying and selling. I've wholesaled a shit ton of houses. I've done tons of flips, hundreds of flips. I've done, a lot of buy and holds. We've done some commercial stuff. We've done some multifamily stuff. We've done all the other aspects. And then I never touched land. I always looked at it as like a pariah, like, this thing sucks. But then I started like realizing, I'm like, dude, I can make like a lot of money. Like I could double my money on every single deal. It's a no brainer.
Right.
The difference is with this and wholesale, you can basically do it with $0, just marketing budget. This, you need marketing budget. You do have to take down properties. There's a little time delay. Your cost from your actual, your cash conversion cycle could be a little bit longer because you're actually buying the property, relisting it. But you're making more money per deal. Your spread's way bigger.
I really like how it's including all the, so it's kind of bringing in all the entitlement stuff too, because I actually kind of did the reverse. I joined another group like 4 months ago. It's mainly, the true subdivide value add, but those are big projects that take time. So I kind of got into it backwards.
Was that Vest, right?
That's great because this is a real how-to of building systems and processes that you apply to both of those types of deals. Anyway, I don't want to hog the meeting.
Yeah, no worries. What was that? Would you join Vest, right?
Yep.
Okay. Do you know Jerry and what the heck's her name? Rachel Burnett? Have you met them?
I went to I joined in May. I went to an in-person event in Dallas in June, but I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah,
they're friends of mine. They're in Vest, right, and stuff like that. They're good people.
Nice.
So
yeah, good people all around.
All right, cool. So I'm just gonna get started. Let me share my screen. All right. So this baby up there. So I'm basically this is our current offer letter that we send out. It's got our name, phone number, all that stuff, email, date. We do a color logo. You guys can see all this stuff, right? Yeah. Color logo. Then we do, owner's last name. This is all your mail merge stuff, owner, whatever. Hey, I'm interested in your property, family owned. So this is one thing I'm looking at split testing is we went family owned. And a couple of people told me that, hey, look, try switching it up, doing a more corporate-ish kind of thing. If you're going to be dealing with LLCs or trusts, sometimes they kind of work a little bit better. Your response rate's a little bit higher. So I want to split test that. That's one of the things I want to change today is adding a split test version of that. So there's this. And then sometimes this wording, why the heck would you work with us? I don't know if that's maybe a negative that some people are looking at. So that's something I might want to split test and change. And then our C to A, a call to action, is kind of right in the middle. Hey, based on, basically when you open this letter, right in the center in bigger lettering is our offer price, acreage, and all that stuff. And then right below it's our call to action. So we put multiple call to actions because we've noticed a pretty good split as far as we get calls and texts are, about 75%. And then we get, actually, I'd probably say 60% of calls and texts. And then email, we get about 10% response rate on that. Our website is the rest. So people go onto our website and everything like that, and then submit a form, and then we get it through there, which goes through Pebble and all that stuff. So I've
Is
noticed.
that the website you created through Pebble?
I didn't create this through Pebble. We created this through our other CRM, but we're actually going to merge this over to a different site. So I do have to do that. It's actually right now there's kind of a couple things that aren't finished on it, so I got to change that. I've actually I haven't gotten a purchase agreement mailed back yet to me. I don't know why. A lot of people get them. I don't understand. Tom, you got a bunch of those, you said, right? Purchase agreement sent back.
Scanned and sent back, but I do get a handful of mail. Seems like older folks most of the time.
What's your offer like? What's your offer like? Average offer?
Percentage wise?
No, like 13,000, 15,000. Is it like below 20K, something like that?
No, I try to target like 20K runs, so like net coming back. So it's like minimum 20.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, because usually you see like a lot of those signed PAs coming back to you from people that are like below like the 15K mark. But that's interesting. I still haven't received a single one. Maybe I should check my mailbox. See if they're just sitting in there or something.
Yeah, it's usually always older folks, and you can just tell by their writing and when you talk to them, of course, too. But
yeah, we get a lot of people that don't have email. That's our very typical. They don't know how to email and all that stuff. So this is a 2-page, like almost everybody sends. Here's your purchase agreement, all that stuff, right? And this is just our contract that we have on here. It's all filled out. That's that. So I want to split test a 2-page. I want to split test a single page, multiple. Like I want to do different call to actions, and I also want to change a couple of these other things, like go from family owned to commercial owned. So a couple things like I know, like I've done direct mail. I've done thousands of pieces. We were sending 40,000 pieces of mail per month for houses. We did that for a couple of years. So with that, we always like switched our stuff up, tested it, all that stuff. So now like this is what I'm ramping up into doing in my land business now. So some of the stuff that I put together like over time is like successful tips are, match your copy to your audience. So if you're mailing people that are 85 years old, you're going to want to really do big lettering, something that's easy to read, things like that, right? So if your typical population that you're mailing to is that senior person, which I'm starting to see, that's usually what it is. I'm looking at this and saying, maybe I should make my copy a little bit bigger, less words, a little bit bigger, so it stands out more. So that's one thought process. Different call to actions, like, hey, sell your land fast. Call this phone number if you want to, you want to sell your parcel fast. Call this phone number if you want to avoid commissions. I plan on split testing those. So different call to actions in different letters, and then sending out a bulk amount. So my ultimate goal is I want to build probably about 15 to 20 different templates, and then send 5,000 pieces of mail out per template, and then see which one I get the best response rate out of. So over the next probably 3 months, probably 4 months, I'm going to split test all these different templates that I'm going to build out, and then track the response rate on all of them and see which one really gets the best response rate, and then kind of take it from there. So multiple methods of contact. This is one I already do. I have a phone number. I give instructions, text, call, website, all that stuff, because people do all different types of things. So like people always having your website on there is so important. It used to be like you never wanted to put your website on there, but now you do. You want your website on there because people are absolutely going to Google you and see who the hell you are. So they'll type in Cash for Land USA and see if you exist, which I probably should Google myself because I don't even know if I exist, but I should. Be professional but personal at the same time. It's really hard thing to kind of get. It's like to be professional yet also be very personable. It's hard. It's a hard balance to swing. It sounds easy, but it's really not when you're trying to come at them like, hey, I'm your friend, but also hey, I could definitely handle this transaction. Personal touches, that's where you're doing like handwritten stuff. You know, like sometimes if you could do it, like we do a blue ink signature. It's stupid little things, really not that much, but there's other things like if you do robo letters and stuff like that. Like I do want to split test a robo letter and check my response rate as well. Be disciplined. So that's like, so what I mean by that is like, make sure if you're going to test something, don't just send like 500 pieces of mail and test it. Send like 5,000, send like 10,000, and then track your KPIs on that. Because 500 is too small of a sample size to really get any type of like opinion on if it's true or if it works, whatever. Local lifts response. So like this really correlated a lot when I did houses, but if you're a local guy, it really helped. So same thing's going to go with land. If you're local to the land or have a contact that's local, like an agent that'll kind of maybe sometimes go like do things on your behalf, maybe walk with the seller, whatever the case may be, it's definitely helpful. And then another thing I could say is like everybody nowadays just puts stuff in Chat GPT and dumps it on a letter and expects it to work. Like it's not your voice, it's not you. It's not going to track well. So I always suggest like just do it in your own voice. Like go to Chat GPT if you want, and then get like some ideas, but then make it your own voice is really what it is. So templates. So I'm going to start. I just want to kind of look at their templates. They have like all different ones. I don't know if you guys ever looked at Pebble yet, but you could do, range offer, neutral letter, offer check, take down a portfolio, whatever, comps, blind offers, neighbor letters. There's like a whole bunch of stuff. So if we want to do blank, let's see. These are postcards. I actually just sent a couple of postcards out of there just to see how it works out. And this is another thing I'm going to split test some postcards and stuff, and just see how the response rate is. It's about the same price, but I feel like the hardest part is getting somebody to open something. So if they just get this in the mail and they see, and it's like it's right in their face saying like, "Hey, I'm going to pay 50 grand for your parcel," they don't have to open it. It's right there, right? They're going to read it. So I want to test the response on that. I'll probably send like 10,000 postcards at some point and just track my response rates and see if it works. Let's see. Happy New Year, all that stuff. Offer checks. These are like a cool concept too. And
can I hit with a quick question?
Yeah, do your thing. No, go ahead.
In Pebble, I have pre-loaded templates that I think is from Leah. So I've been editing a couple different templates. But are some of these are these like standard ones that are already in Pebble, or are these ones that you kind of brought into there?
No, these are all in Pebble.
The exact same ones.
Yeah, they're all in Pebble. Yeah.
Cool.
They're like their standard ones that they just have. So obviously you can edit them any way you want, and that's what I'm looking at doing. But right. So like this offer check kind of stands out. Now, if you think about this, like think about the type of audience we're typically going for, right? You're typically going in rural areas, and most rural areas are usually they vote red, right? So red, white, and blue kind of stick to that theme, and you're going to get a higher response rate than just going like gearing towards like a blue. Like that's kind of just how you should really kind of focus on that stuff. So putting things like American flags, watermarks, eagles, whatever, any kind of stuff that's like American kind of thing, you're definitely going to get a higher response because they look like, oh, this guy's like one of us. So that's just a thought process too. We've split test that before and it did work better. And that's honestly why we named our company Cash for Land USA, because, that stands out. And people are like, oh, dude, this guy's an all-American dude. Let's go. So I think that's one of the reasons why I had such a high response rate on one of our mailers. And I know a couple other people said the same thing. So I think I'm going to work on, let's see. I'm just going to do a blank one for now. I'm going to copy my stuff over from here and I'm going to edit this. I've never really used Pebble's things yet. I'm just learning kind of how to do it, but hell, let's learn together. Okay, so this is the one I transferred over. Put this baby over there.
Yeah, inside Pebble's knowledge base, they have a pretty good library of training videos and stuff. And there's one that Jesse does where he creates a postcard, which is pretty good. But yeah, the editor inside Pebble, it's kind of tricky, to be honest. So
Yeah.
I use Canva. But
What do you use? Canva? Just transfer it over?
yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. But even once you get it over, like some of the formatting, it's really tricky. It's kind of hard to get it right. So I've been spending a lot of time trying to edit these. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not. It's never going to be perfect, but always curious just to try it. Let's see, cash land. It's good. All right. So, like I said, I kind of want to. This is going to be there. I'm going to try to change stuff around. I definitely want to make stuff bigger. Like I said, a lot of our audience is on that aging bracket. So I think anything should be a minimum, like at least a 14, 18 point, something like that. Let's see. Too big. And then I'm going to change a lot of the owner's first name. Actually, this is the stuff that goes in the mail. So this does not have to be that much bigger. Do that. Do that. 18 point. So I'm going to write something like this. 18 point. We are interested in your property located at so Pebble has their placeholders. You just go campaign property located in county name, county, property, county, state. Okay. So we get rid of this stuff. Have you guys have you mailed out a Pebble yet?
Negative. Trying to very soon.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question again?
Yeah. This is like just talk around. It's all good.
All right. Sorry.
Work on this together. No, you're good. Just let's work on this together.
Cool. When you copy and pasted this all from Word, the placeholder text that you brought from Word, like owner first name and stuff, you have to change that to their placeholder text, right? Or else
That's exactly that's what I'm doing now. Yeah, because they have their own thing. They have their own like whatever. So this is the one that we sent to Rocket Print and Mail, and then what they do is they go in and they change it anyways. So
okay.
when we come into here, now we also have to change this. So I'm just leaving my existing ones so that I could go back and just change it right now. So seller, address zip. State. Yeah, I really like Pebble's the way they have everything organized. I think it's pretty awesome because like it's data storage. It's not just just a CRM. So if you want to create a campaign, it's super easy. Just a couple clicks, go to properties, click your properties, select your whatever you want, and then next thing you know, you have a campaign. It's
in the beginning, I always use Pebble. I'm already signed up with Pebble, so I probably think it's easiest to use them because they're all in. But once I was talking to Ben a little bit about it, using Rocket Print. If you have Pebble as your CRM, is it still easy to mail with Rocket Print if you want to at some point?
Yeah.
Kind of sync them up together, the info.
Yeah, so we're mailing through Rocket Print right now. And what happens is when we mail through there, the lead still comes in through Pat Live. So Pat Live comes in, we just add it, gets added in. All our stuff gets saved into the properties tab. So what we do is before we send it to Rocket Print, we upload it here, then we send it to Rocket Print, so that this way it has all the stuff that Pebble has. I'll talk to Rob. I'll see if he can do a training on how he does that. But he basically goes over all that stuff, like how he does it, why he does it, all that stuff. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's definitely today's date. Yes, today's date. Yeah, email. I think it's good to definitely have mail out of here. It's a little more expensive, but I think it's worth it. I just like how easy it is to split test everything. Buyer name, phone number. Oh, so they don't have my email here. So buyer phone. Okay. Cool. Adjust the sizes. All right. All right. So, hey, we're interested in your property located in county state. We are. Let's think of things. What is. So, this one I want to make more of a commercial kind of thing. You know, so I'm trying to think of good things to say. We are experienced investment company looking to acquire properties in let's see, seller property state. Why would you work with us? Sure. Let me make this stuff a little bit bigger. No commissions or fees. First goes in your pocket. Get a clear offer. Avoid the painful hang and bait and switch pricing. Yeah, need to ask close. So I've actually found this 7 business day thing was actually a bad thing to put in there, because I've had so many people that would call and be like, "Hey, you could close in 7 days," and I was like, "Yeah, as long as you have clear title." And they're like, "Well, what does that mean?" So I'd explain it to them, and then they would get all pissed off when I couldn't actually close in 7 days. So, I've decided I'm going to take that out because it's just been it's more of a detriment than it's actually been worth. So, 30 business days is pretty reasonable. I mean, we could close in 30 days, no problem. 30 business days.
Maybe, I mean, I know it's semantics, but maybe just a little, in as little as,
Yeah.
because you don't have to like hold yourself to that, I guess. I don't know.
So my contract already states like it's going to be, I basically have 90 days execute and then a 30-day extension. So I basically could close it in 120 days. But the whole point is just to get them to call. So yeah, I guess we could close 30 days or less. 30 days or less with clear title. Period. Another thing is too, is also whenever you're like mailing somebody or any kind of outreach, you always want to whatchamacallit, always word it in a like a 3rd grade reading level, because most people in America speak a 3rd grade reading level or read it. So you don't want to sound too smart because then they won't talk to you. So that's one tip I will say. All right, let's go 18 here. Recent purchases, put together an offer. Offer pricing. Let's see. Acreage. What are you guys typically mailing at right now? How much and what areas?
I'm getting ready to hopefully do my first mailer.
Nice. What's that looking like?
It's okay. I think I got 2 counties, one in North Carolina and one in Tennessee, which have really strong numbers. The one in Tennessee seems to have like much more homogeneous pricing in terms of getting it down to a nice number for an average or median price per acre. Where the ones in North Carolina, even though the numbers might be a little bit stronger, the price per acre when I put it into the spreadsheet is all over the place, and I can't really. I was kind of going crazy looking at the screen, just trying to get like a median price, but they're just so far all over the place. It's a little frustrating.
Yeah. I do a lot in North Carolina, and it is a little frustrating. But honestly, I just get 80% of the way and then just send it. It is what it is. I don't try to focus on it too much. There's a lot of like, if you look at some of the parcels, you're like, oh, why did this one sell for so much more? And there's really nothing that indicates why it's selling for more. So you're just like, whatever, dude, just send it. Get it close enough.
Part of me thinks like that could be to our advantage because there's so much discrepancy in price. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So if they're like, oh, why'd you send it at this? Well, things are trading weird, and like it's hard to whatever. Like it's really easy to say that. Like we mailed the property that we offered $20K for, and then the guy ended up calling us, emailing us, and saying, "You're way off. I want $80,000. We offered $20,000." And I was like, "This dude's off his rocker." Well, I talked to our agent in the area. He's like, "No, dude, that dude is like, he's like even way under. He's like, that property's worth like 135." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, there's something just about like this small pocket. When you get off the 401, it's right there that people want to move there." I was like, "Interesting." So he's like, "I would try to lock that up at a higher price. Like, don't go above like 60K." So we ended up getting at 61.4, and then we just listed it for 125. And we've had like 600 people look at it 600 people on Zillow look at it. I think like 20 people walk it in the past 6 days. So
I have one other question that's completely outside of what we're talking about, but I keep on hearing and going through the LEA training, like I'm only like 3-4 weeks into this, and I have a busy family life and a full-time job, but nowhere in there did I find out or any information on building a website. But I was thinking the same thing you did. Like, if these guys get my letter, the first thing they're going to do is Google this company, and if I don't have a website, then I think I'm kind of screwed. So
Hey, Mark, just throwing this out there because I'm going to do it too. Pebble, the owner, Jesse Kwong, he puts out this thing called the Dirt Hacker Challenge, and he does it once a month. And he literally, so it's once a month for 5 days. And for every Monday through Friday, it's an hour. And he just literally goes through and helps you build everything, including a website. And you get access to like a free user account while you're doing this Dirt Hacker Challenge. It's only $97, and I heard it's like so worth it. So I can't speak to it yet, but I guess he helps you literally build out everything in Pebble.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny you mentioned that because I just found Jesse's podcast, and I listened to about 3 episodes yesterday on the way to and from work, and that's what he talks about in the middle of his podcast is that that 5-day program. So
yeah, that's how I found Sumner actually, is by hearing of that podcast.
Yeah, if you're a LEA member too, just let Jesse know. He usually hooks us up.
Yeah,
okay.
So
he did, and he will pre-populate. He set up my Pebble like Summers with all the deal boards and all of the stages, and so everything's already pre-populated in there.
So is it recommended that I get Pebble even before I've sent out any mailers?
I like it. You know why? It's because I store all my data in Pebble. So it's really helpful for that reason.
Okay.
So like we put every time we go to send a piece of mail, it's all loaded up into this properties tab. So I could go in here anytime. So we upload it there and then pull it out of there, and then it has our mailer ID, and then we send it out.
Because I just purchased 15,000 packets from Rocket Print.
Yeah, you could still mail through Rocket Print, But what I do is we put it into here, and then from here we pull it out again. And then once we pull it out, that's when we go ahead and mail it.
Okay.
So it just helps with like continuity when a property comes back in to add a lead card. It's like a click of a button. So
I should call Jesse then soon and set something up.
yeah, I don't know if do you have Sumner's link for Pebble?
I do, yeah.
Okay, let me add it.
Just use that.
Yeah, we could just use that. Here, I'll send it.
It's like, I mean, again, I'm new to using Pebble and I haven't even sent a mailer out yet. But in general, I've been in real estate for a while and I've used a lot of different CRMs. And just from like watching the trainings and what I've seen in Pebble, like being an all-in-one shop to be able to also send out mail when, getting started, it's really beneficial. But what I really like about the CRM is that it's like a property at the top of the hierarchy where like most CRMs are based off contacts but if you have,
Yes.
so you're going for, I think like 200,000 properties in here. And so being able to have everything tied to like a parcel number, it's like the top of your organizational structure, I guess, is really, to me, seems really cool. Cause again, seen CRMs where it's all contact based.
Yeah, I think this is way better. Honestly, I like that it's based on the property, not based on the seller, whatever the case may be, because the seller could have multiple properties. So now I can keep everything together into one property. It's actually pretty damn sweet. And I've used countless other CRMs, so.
And what tier do you guys recommend? There's a starter plan, a growth plan, and a scale plan. Obviously, I'm not scaling.
I'm at the
I
growth.
just want to start.
I'm at the growth for the data storage because I want to store a butt ton of data inside here. So
Okay.
I think the first scale was like 10,000 records or something like that. I had that like just stored on my Dropbox. I had like 40,000 records stored already. So I was like, all right, so I already have to go up. So, and now
I'm not sure if that's the case, but I started with the starter package, but then I realized that I think in order for Pebble to sync with Pat Live and what was the other integration, I think it has to be the next level up.
okay.
I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think the starter package is obviously a good start, but I think to be able to like do all the integrations and Pebble syncing with your Pat Live and with other, again, I can't remember exactly what, but yeah, you can probably get away with the starter, but yeah, that's just what
Is Pat Live also like a must as well for somebody brand new?
Oh, dude, Pat Live is an absolute game changer. And I was like totally against it. I'm like, I don't need Pat Live. This sucks, whatever. Dude, total game changer. It's like, they answer live every single time. It's US based people. And it's just so much better to have somebody there responding to your person right then and there live. We paid somebody to record a voicemail for us. We did this, we did that, all this stuff, and nothing worked, right? We had no responses. We got Pat Live. All of a sudden, our leads like quadrupled. We had way more response rates. It was way different. And you could just get the basic one. Like you don't have to get the crazy one yet,
Basic one. Okay. This
Yeah.
is also foreign to me, man. I've been a cop for 21 years and I'm scheduled to retire soon.
Cool.
And I was thinking that I wanted to try something. And after tons of research, I landed on the whole, land investing, but this is also foreign. I feel like my head's going a million miles an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, it's somewhat overwhelming. I feel like there's so many things to do. Oftentimes I sit down and it's like takes me 45 minutes just to start doing one of those things.
Right. It is different. I mean, it's a tough thing to kind of like grasp and stuff like that. You'll figure it out though, man. Honestly, it's not that bad. It's hard. Once you get into it and start doing things and like you're all about it, you'll definitely do better.
Are you guys going to Vegas?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. Yep.
Hey Dennis, if you want to get that logo lined up, if you use the little table icon up there next to where you upload a picture.
Okay.
And I think if you do like one by one on the table, you should be able to get everything lined up.
So like just go.
Yeah, just do those top two like next to each other.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm not a pro at this, guys. This is it. You're seeing me live. See me live doing this. So it works.
I spent like 2 hours trying to edit some of these yesterday and couldn't figure out certain things. But yeah, I think Brad's right. When you put a table in, you can also like insert the image and it will automatically like set like a placeholder there. Because I'm trying to, on my letter template, I want to also send out like a map of each property, kind of like the postcard, but inside the letter. So I did that with a table, and you can just drag a picture in, and it will automatically fill the table size.
So you just do one by one like that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, do 2 of the little squares right next to each other.
All right. So not like that. Do right here, like that.
Yep, just like that.
All
And
right.
then you should be able to put like all your contact info on one side and the image on the other.
Oh, look at you. What a gem. Look at that. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Obviously, the table won't show up, right?
It shouldn't.
I guess.
Look at
I
mine.
let's see select borders. There's borders that you can put on it, but I think if you don't select them, then it won't.
Border width. So I would
Yeah,
have
just do 0.
0. Perfect. Alignment, advance, select border style.
Yeah, so there's no,
Hidden.
or you can do dotted or
Or
hidden.
none. Yeah. No border. Safe. Okay. Perfect. Boom. Look at that, guys. Lovely. See, this is why I like doing stuff like this with people. Because like there's stuff I don't know how to use and I'm figuring it out. All right. So general upload. I'm going to upload a logo. Cash land. Let's grab. Hang on.
Dennis, are you planning to split test this like tomorrow, or is this an overlay within your 100,000 mailer build out?
100,000 mailer build out. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep. This is all part of that. This is my logo.
nice.
Yeah. I don't have 100K to send. I don't have a 100 pieces, 100K, 100,000 pieces of mail to send right now. So what I'm going to do is as I go, I'm going to start uploading all that stuff. I'm going to start split testing all these different things as I go.
The most of the templates in Pebble there, they have at the very top like the windows, for the mailing. So in those ones, do they fold it where that's what's in the front of the envelope, or if you create it from scratch like you're doing? I'm sure you'll probably get there. Sorry, but as far as like you need to have those there.
I'm learning as I go right now. I mean, this is kind of like how they had it, their template. So
Right.
I'm more focused on like just getting the copy done today. And then I'll probably take this copy out and drag it into like one of their actual templates. Because I already tell you right now, like something's off on here. It's already bigger than a standard letter. If you look at it.
Oh, yeah.
So let's hit preview. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's interesting because you can put a page break there, but it doesn't automatically show you where the breaks are.
Yeah, see, it's already dumping it onto a second page. So you can see there's already a bunch of stuff that I have to edit. Like, why is none of my merge fields showing up? Well, I think that's supposed to be. Yeah, I want to rank up. Yeah, okay. So my merge fields didn't show up. So let's go back.
Do you create these on just like a simple Google Docs, or do you have to use like a template within something like this?
So what I did, this is my original one. And I just
Yeah.
copied and pasted this exact thing. Now this is created, uploaded into Rocket Print, and then that's what I used, right? What I'm trying to do is edit this a little bit different. So for Google Docs, I know it fits. So I could probably just edit this here and move it over. But I already could see like, all right, so I got an issue with this. This is too big. So I probably have to edit a lot of this stuff out. Like this logo. Let me take that out right now.
Just for your info, maybe sometime when you're on your own, if you want to look at it, Jesse, there's another one of those videos in the knowledge base.
Yeah.
That something about bringing the format of your Google Docs when you're importing into Pebble. You can do it as like an HTML, and he shows how to do it in a video. I didn't watch that one yet, but just so you know, if you wanted to just exactly format it from your Google Docs to Pebble, I don't know how to do it, but I saw a video that it shows how.
Sweet. Okay. No, it's awesome. I'll definitely check that out. I have watched some of the stuff, but I'm not an expert on it. I just I just fail in public. That's what I do best. Fire city. This is the wrong
Wow, you
one.
really just need a team of like 20 VAs doing all this stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I'm probably gonna end up like farming this out eventually. But the problem is like it's such a hard balance because you need the copy to be you. So like you have to be manual in it as well. So what I'll probably end up doing is like cleaning this up, and then Pebble's gonna look at this anyways and say, yeah, dude, this is wrong, whatever. You go away. All right, so a little bit of pain in the butt.
I think if you deselect the bullet thing up there in the menu, it'll. Oh, you got it. There you go.
Yeah, just have to take that. I had to delete that. I'll just take this out now. That should be better. So I still think this is all going to be wrong. Let's preview it. Yep, still got to shrink it. So this is all not showing up either.
If you look over there on the left side, go back to the preview.
Yeah.
And then if you fill in that junk on the left side, seller name, you can just put in whatever. Then it should show up in your preview. You just have to fill in those boxes.
Gotcha.
You may have to refresh the update preview.
See, update preview. Sweet, look at you. Genius. Love it. All right, so I'm probably going to end up taking out some of this stuff in the middle. And then just getting this all to be moved up, basically. Let's go back. So let me just say. I don't love it, but it's a work in progress. So basically, we're interested in your property located county, state. We're an experienced real estate investment company looking to acquire properties in county, state based on our recent purchases. Okay. Looks like here is hitting the easy button. So why not give us a call or text, go on our email, hop on our website, or send this back. All right. So this is just an example. We're going to clean this up, add logos and all that stuff. But basically, the copy I wanted to just basically create today on this one was just a very basic entry copy that shows that we're professionals, we've been doing business in the area, call to actions. Now, I'm not in love with all this stuff, so I will change stuff. But for now, I'll leave it. So let's save changes for now. Let's go back. I want to see what the other ones have. So what we do is like we put all our properties in here, and I could just go to a county and just like click a county, and then I could set like select all, create campaign, and then save, and then go ahead and just like hit mail, and that's it. So I could activate campaign, and I've now just mailed 2,000 people. So it's totally different when it comes to that versus whatchamacallit, doing it on like Rocket Print. Like this is instant. I've sent the postcard campaign and the next day they were mailing. Whereas with Rocket Print, it's like not that it's a bad thing, but it's a 1 to 2 week lag before they get the mail at the door. So I did notice that was a little bit of a butt. Little thing that sucked. I think this. You say
one thing about mailing with Pebble, I've been using them for about 1.5 years to do.
Oh yeah, okay.
They'll like when you're mailing postcards, they require you to use first class postage. But if you're just doing letters and you don't do first class postage, It takes a little bit longer for the stuff to go out. So like I just started one, I think 3 or 4 days ago, and the first letters aren't supposed to hit until like September 9th. That's another cool thing about Pebble too, is you can see, you know, when they expect the letters to actually hit people's mailbox. So if you don't use first class postage on letters, it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah, because that goes into bulk sort. And bulk sort has if you guys don't know this, bulk sort has specific days it gets delivered. So like depending on the town, the area, the city, whatever it is, they only deliver on like Thursday or Friday or whatever. So if you don't get the mail printed out into the post office before that Thursday, then it's not going to go out until 2 weeks. So that's why first class is it just goes out. So yeah, the reason why we went to this plan right away is because it was only 20,000 records allowed and 50 deals, one phone number. We wanted multiple phone numbers, me and my partner. And then he also needed to be a user on there. So my partner needed a user. And then unlimited deals, 200,000 records, which we're already getting past this. We're pretty close. So I'm going to have to come up to this one pretty soon. So, but I think it's worth it. I mean, I really like for CRM. I think it's really good. It's got a ton of features. So I'm really happy with it, to be honest. All right. So let me see. So
correct me if I'm wrong, this is my kind of take too, is it seems like, because these are the first two things that I signed up for is Pebble and Patline. So and then I'm trying to just get off and running and get experience with the mailers that way. And then, you know, if I want to expand into Rocket Print because they're a little cheaper and whatever.
Yeah, you might not even want to expand into Rocket Print. I mean, Rocket Print is great. I like what they do. It's really good with bulk and all that stuff. But if this just makes life easier, then just make life easier, right? Simplification, one less property. Like the fact that I don't have to buy 30,000 pieces of mail ahead of time is a plus. You know,
I don't think it's too much more expensive either. I think we're only talking a few cents, but I know that's at scales. It's maybe 5 cents or something. But
no, I actually got their email the other day. Let me look it up real quick. I have let's see.
And also, if you ever talk to Jesse, he'll allude to the fact that it's the same mailing place. It's the same company that they use as Rocket Print.
Yep. So this is their pricing. It's black and white, standard class, first class. So standard class is only, 58 cents per single page. Each additional page, it's 65 cents. So pretty on par. Now I do color. They usually give you, like, Rocket Print gives me free color upgrade, whereas I don't get that here. So that's one detriment. Not that it's that big of a deal, but it's definitely a change. Your postcards, whatever. No minimums is really nice. That honestly, the no minimum is really nice too, because if you have a targeted small group campaign that you just want to throw out there, you don't have to get to 500, and you're not just sending crap mail just to get sending crap mail. So I did like that. So,
have you found where you can see the cost of the campaign? I haven't been able to search that out.
Oh, how much it's going to cost you? No, I have not. Yeah. I think it depends on what hits. That's why.
I don't know where I saw this, but I think that also inside Pebble, on like the reporting page or like the dashboard or something, there's also like a built-in P&L, I think, which shows like like all of your details. So I saw that and I didn't have a chance to go back and look at it, but I was like, oh, that's pretty badass. It also is like a hub for all your reporting.
Yeah, I really have to get more in tune with Pebble, and that's kind of like why I'm trying to do this, create these templates and do that stuff, because like I do want to learn how to use all the little aspects. They've pretty much built out a full suite for us, well, for land investors. So I know there's some things that I just don't know about yet. That if they have a P&L too, that'd be really good. I could just upload my P&L.
Dashboard real quick.
Yeah.
I was curious because I thought I remember. See, look at the top. Scroll to the top and campaigns, properties sold, net profit. So you can input like your purchase, your sell.
Oh yeah. Okay. So what they don't do, the downside here is like I just sent a few postcards out of here just to test. So it doesn't track anything that I'm sending from Rocket Print.
Oh, that's true. Right.
So nothing that I've sent, 20 something thousand letters in the past 2 months doesn't show up at all. Right. And unless I report something, like if I purchased a property, it doesn't show up either. Or if I sold a property, it doesn't show up either. But if you're mailing through here, it's all linked, which is cool. So I just haven't linked anything yet because we're still using our still switching over from Go High Level where we have most of our contacts. But yeah, I'm liking this just for this, like everything's kind of in here. Let's see. What a postcard. Let's take a look at a postcard.
So for the phone number, and maybe you got this, but I'm also at work, so I'm coming in and out. But so the number that you're putting on there, is that your straight Pat Live number, or are you having that forwarded?
No, it goes to our Pat Live number.
So how are they? So do texts come into Pat Live as well?
No, but on our sheet, on our thing, it has a thing that says text us here, call us here, text us here.
I just had my onboarding call with the Pat Live lady, and she said that a lot of people that use Pebble, and when it syncs with Pat Live, there's just a form that the Pat Live receptionist answers. But they said the plans that you have with Pebble, it's either, I think the starter is one phone number, and I think the next one up, the growth or whatever, is 3 numbers. So what she said that most people do is they advertise the Pebble number, because you can call and text directly from that Pebble number, but the Pat Live number is just an inbound number. So if you forward all of the calls from your Pebble number to the Pat Live number, they still get it, but you can also use that number like directly through Pebble, if that makes sense.
So I had that set up that way, and I noticed a huge delay, like calling. So it rang and it rang and it rang. And so what I'm guessing was happening, it was ringing to Pebble number and then transferring and ringing that however long it needs on the Pat Live number. And I'm thinking to myself, if I'm calling this number and I'm just some guy that picked up a postcard and is, got enough courage to call the number, I'm hanging up.
Yeah.
So
as the Pat Live number directly, then.
Yeah, that's what I ended up doing, is changing my campaign and putting that number on there. But then the texting thing, because I thought I saw on your template it said call or text.
Yeah.
Oh, call or text us at that number. So that's what I was wondering if you figured that out.
We did change it. This is a template I put 6/1/23. That's why I date my stuff. So this is a template we use. Now we changed this since we actually sent it to Pebble and all that stuff. So what it does, it says call us at phone number, text us at phone number, and they're 2 separate numbers. So if we get a text, we've never gotten a text yet. Everybody calls or emails. That's pretty much the primary modes of contact. Or actually, they call, they text, they email, or they go to our website. So
then, knowing that, do you think it would just be, if we're looking to streamline here, just really nitpicking, as we're doing this, do you think that would be confusing if there's 2 phone numbers and they accidentally call the wrong one? So if nobody's really texting you, is there really a cost benefit?
So if they call that number, if they call the number they're supposed to text, it would just bring to my Pebble number. It's really not the end of the world. It's just I'd have to answer it, right? So is it a bad thing? No. But at the same time, I don't think it's a loss. I don't know. Could be. If I'm trying to save some room, yeah, might as well drop that down a little bit.
So you're using your Pat Live number in all of your mailers that are going in?
Absolutely.
Not your personal cell phone number?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, everything.
Go ahead and delete that.
Yeah. On that note, for return addresses, I mean, I'm sure you just have whatever business address you set up for your registered agent, for your LLC or whatever, but because some of those, they're not really, they're an outward facing address, but they're not supposed to, receive mail. Do you just have a virtual office kind of set up? Or because if you're sending out 100,000 mailers and, whatever percent gets returned, they're not really going to get to you.
So we use Anytime Mail. It's Anytime Mail or whatever, Postnet Virtual, whatever. I think Anytime some recommends, but this one I picked because this is local. I could go to this physical address and pick up any mail I wanted. But what I could do, it's also powered by Anytime Mailbox, right? $10 a month. So let's say I'm mailing thousands and thousands and thousands to North Carolina, right? I'll just set up a postnet in North Carolina and then put everything for North Carolina onto there. So this way, on the top of my letterhead right here, it would have that address. Now, the downside, if I'm doing that, this can't be a merge field because then I'd have multiple addresses in Pebble. It would be confusing. I'd actually physically have to do this every single time. I'd have to put the address in. So if I know I'm like mailing North Carolina, I could just take my North Carolina mailbox, put that info in there. Now, if they write back a letter, it's going to go to my North Carolina mailbox. Then they'll scan it and send it to me. So you could do that. Or I mean, people do notice, like, especially if you're working like Oklahoma, Northern Texas, like those areas, if you're out of state, they don't even want like to talk to you. Like
You don't have a San Francisco address if you're mailing Texas.
yeah, exactly. You got to have like an Okie address or have like a Texas address, something like that. So that's just, I don't know, semantics, I guess. But I know people that said that they got no responses based on when they had a like an outside address. I was like, huh, that's interesting. Now I know that for houses, that was very particular. Whenever I would mail something, I would actually, like Ballpoint Marketing, I would order mail from them. They would ship it to my personal address, and then I take it to the post office, and then the post office stamps it right there. So if I'm mailing Bloomfield, New Jersey, whatever, it would have a stamp that says Bloomfield, New Jersey on it. So it's like I'm local. You could see that. That made I don't know, my response rate up a little bit. I can't really say for sure, but it definitely does help. I don't know for land though. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. Basically,
I Postal One, and so I used to do a Land Geek model.
Okay.
Send tons of stuff, and I would just put that mailbox address as my business address, and I still do that, so everything gets mailed back to there. But I would get charged a ton because I was doing first class mail, and lots of stuff comes back. And then I'd have my daughter get on, and she, would do the corrected addresses and when there was one. But that's what I do. I just put that number as if that is my business address on all my stuff.
Yeah, that's definitely the downside to first class mail is that. I mean, it's a major plus because if you get those pieces back, then obviously like those are the ones you really want to dig into. But that does cost what, $2 per piece or something like that you get back.
Depending. Yeah, it can be
could get expensive.
It can be pricey. So for I Postal One, you get a certain number of pieces of mail that you can receive within each month, and then if you go over that, you start getting charged more.
This one's 30 pieces for free, and then anything over is 35 cents.
What sucks is junk mail counts too.
Junk mail
if
counts.
You're getting spam with junk mail like us, it costs you money.
Yep, that's true. But hey, whatever. I guess at the end of the day, that's not the end of the world. If you end up getting a property off one of those pieces that came back to you, that could be like a 20 grand profit. It's like, okay, I'll spend $50 in return mail to get 20 grand.
Hey Dennis, I don't know why my brain didn't connect the dots on this, but you said all the ones that are coming back are the ones that you want to dig into more.
Yeah, so if you're sending regular mail, bulk mail, you're not going to get a return, right? So if it's a failed, like if it goes out, doesn't have an address, just gets thrown out. It's bulk mail. Now, if you're sending first class mail, live stamp, whatever that stuff is, first class mail will get returned to sender. So it'll come back to you. So if they try to deliver it and then it gets back because it's undeliverable, then it comes back to you. That's something that you're going to look into. Those are like high priority ones, right? Because if you can't reach them, nobody else is reaching them, right? So then what are you going to
do? That's what I was thinking. Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yep. So those are the ones that you're going to do like texting, cold calling, all that stuff with. So yeah, like there's a big thing. Like same thing if you're like skip tracing and cold calling, you really want to mail the people that you can't skip trace, right? And cold call, because people who they probably just ignore them. I just cold call. Well, you should mail those, because it's the opposite is true, right?
Most people are having trouble getting a hold of that shit.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, if they're whatever. So I want to create another one. Let's see. There was this one I used to use that was pretty cool. It actually took like a Google Street View of the property for every postcard. So I don't know if they do that here, but that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's what Jesse does in the training video is a postcard like this, and you put it automatically puts a map for every single parcel.
That's what I was. Okay, good. Yeah.
It's a unique one to everyone.
See, that's exactly what I was just wondering. So I'm gonna probably end up making this one of these, and just because I mean, look, if you get that like in hand and it's like, oh shit, this is my parcel, like it does make you think for a second. So I think that's definitely valuable. I just would probably like this handwriting. This is something too, like if you're thinking about an older person, this handwriting might be actually tough for them to read. So I would probably change this and say like, you know, something a little bit different. Maybe just do, let's try that. Just another hand. Let's go 24 point. Nope. Let's go 18. Just say, interested in making a cash offer. Cash offer to purchase vacant land. Whatever. Okay. Find a property, county, I care. Typically pay in cash. Cool. See, like all this stuff is way too small for them to read. So this is definitely something I want to cash offer. Upsize a little bit.
The neighbor letter feature is also an awesome time saver.
That's
if
what
you've ever had to do neighbor letters yourself. That's a huge speed bump.
Yeah. Have you done them before? Like on Pebble?
I have not.
I still haven't either. I saw the feature. I'm like, dude, this is awesome.
But, just trying to do neighbor letters the old fashioned way it's also good in theory, but getting that process down to do it, it's very hands-on and time intensive, where this just looks like you drag a window and it populates it for you.
But doesn't it have to have all of the neighboring property information already in Pebble in order for them to mail it?
Nope.
It probably does, because when you upload your list, you probably are mailing to those as well. But that's a good point, Dennis, because I don't know. I've checked on here before, and it just brings up property information on Pebble. So I wasn't sure if I've already uploaded it, because I took all the properties from my old mailings from the LG Pass, and I uploaded all of them into Pebble, so I would have the information.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you've never uploaded if it's there.
So
yeah, that's my question too, because it's like, then why would you, if you had all the ownership information within inside Pebble, you wouldn't need data tree or.
So that's the thing. They do that right here. So they talk about it on this print to mail. So if you wanted, you could go in here, and Jesse had showed me how to do this, and I got to figure out how to do it again. But basically, you select your parcel, set boundary, and then it pulls X amount of parcels in that area, however many you want. Here you go. Load, local addresses, add address. Okay, boom. Pulls 15 around the area. Then you just deselect the one that's your property and then mail it. Now, you get up to, depending on what you have, 200 to 49. So if you have the basic, the second plan, you get 99, right? So they charge you 15 cents a record over your 99. And then once you go over that, go over that. So you need data tree because it's way cheaper, right? That's kind of the whole point. And this doesn't aggregate large chunks of data. It's just meant for like small loads, right?
But that's cool that they do have ownership records in there.
Yeah.
When you're doing it. Cool.
Yeah, it'll pull them right out. And then he showed me, if you're in the 90-day challenge, the one that we did with Sumner, Jesse came on and he talked about that exact stuff. And he did like a walkthrough of that. He's like, oh, this is how you do the neighbor letter. Blah, blah, blah. I pulled it all through. I'm like, dude, I'm sold right there. Like right there is, to me, is like, yeah, 100%. So I haven't done it yet, so I can't really say how to do it, but I will figure it out and I will absolutely show once I figure it out. All right, so let's see. I like this postcard idea. I want to try some of these and just test, like split test this. So for 50 cents, so it's going to cost $2,500 to split test it. But if my response rate, even if I get one deal out of 5,000 letters, it's still totally worth it. So I'll probably push this out pretty soon. I just want to make this bigger because I can't see it. View, zoom in. Okay, hey, my name is Dennis. I'm with Cash. Portland, USA. So yeah, I want to change this too. Let's change this. Just another hand. Go way bigger. And we buy. So we are buying a placeholder in state.
These are ones you're actually going to send, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna prep this up and then I'm gonna send this one. I'll probably push this out maybe next month, September, and just test it. I really want to see the response because a lot of people say like they love the 2-page and they get such high response and all that stuff because it looks like you mean business, and I get that. But at the same time, is it worth the extra 8 cents? If I could get an almost the same exact response rate, why spend the extra 8 cents, right? Because maybe I could just add, 8 cents is what, 5 more mailers. For every 5, it's 5 more mailers I could send, or for every 5 I would send that I don't send that, I could send 1 more mailer. So over the cost of like 5,000, I could probably send another 500 mailers pretty easily. So it might even be worth it if my response rates are good.
You'll probably catch it when you go back, but after Cash for Land USA and there's a big space between we are.
There you go. Vacant land and county state. Anything? What would you guys change here? Let's talk about this. This is why I want to do this. Hey, I would probably say hey, because I don't say hi. Hey, my name is Dennis, and I am with Cash for Land USA. We're buying vacant land in. Let's change this. I just want to do state. Property state.
My grandma would say that font is too busy.
Perfect. That's exactly what I want to hear. So that's exactly the stuff. Like, if you think about this, think about like the person that's going to be reading this, right? They're going to be older. That's probably too meh. Let's change this. Impact, open sans, Poppins maybe. 13, 12 point. We have purchased we plan to purchase 2 or 3 properties this month, and Blaine County, we have worked with over 300 property owners who are happy to receive cash for their land. Interesting. I'm interested in making a cash offer. So I think it's pretty known on the front page. Cash offer. I think the name correlates with that too. We've already worked with this, so that. Typically in search field. Blah, 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 blah. Poppins. Cool. Just this. Insert your custom field. Okay, right here. Property. So who's building out mailers now?
I am.
Yeah. Are you gonna do a 2-page blind offer?
Yeah, I think so. If that's what everyone recommends for the beginning and the first, then that's what I think I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I definitely do blind offers, especially if you're just getting into it. You're only going to get the people that are actually interested calling you, right? Just makes life a lot easier, because if you're texting, you're doing this, you're doing that, all you're going to do is get a lot of people that are raising their hands and say, I want an appraisal on my property. Now's not the time to be appraising people's properties. Now's the time to just buy property. Your KPIs are going to take a little bit long. What's that?
I think I'm only gonna send neutrals on like specific targeted ones for subdivides.
So what I do is anything that's over, if anybody owns more than 2 properties, I don't mail them, right? I don't mail them on a blind offer. I mail them on a different type of campaign. And I'm testing that too. I don't know if it's going to actually work out, but what I'm doing is trying to see, like, if they have more than 3 properties, they're probably pretty savvy. Okay. So they're not going to look at this and just be like, yeah, this dude's offering cash for my property. Like, they probably don't, like, they just throw it out, right? So what I've been doing is separating anybody who owns more than 3 properties into a separate list, and I'm going to mail them separately. Different copy, different everything, more of like a portfolio kind of conversation. And then anything over 50 acres too, I'm not sending blind offers, because I've tracked our KPIs, and everybody that's calling us is between this 5 to 40 acre range, right? Sometimes I get a 50 here and there, but for the most part, 5 to 40. So it just tells me that anybody who owns that larger chunk of acreage just doesn't give a crap about my blind offer. So I'm like, okay, why am I wasting money? I could have sent way more mail, like probably save like 7,000 pieces, and sent it to just more people that want to buy, like would actually accept my offer here. So that's why I was like, okay, let me change that. So those are just a couple things I've learned. And also too, if you're talking like picking areas, picking markets, dude, call local agents that are land realtors over there. Call like 20 or 30 per market. And just ask them questions. Hey man, we're just moving into this market. We do this over here, but I'm just wanted to see over here. Does it work? What's typically trading? What are you seeing that's moving? What kind of buyers do you have? What do they like to buy? All that stuff. I've gotten more insight from agents like that than it's worth, like, besides the data. Like, they just tell me everything. Like, the one guy was like, yeah, dude, if you have anything less than 10 acres, don't even bother with it. Nobody wants 10 acres around here. They all want 10 plus. So the 5 acre parcels, don't even bother with. Okay, well, there you go. I just saved myself 2,000 pieces of mail, because most of it's 5 acre parcels, you know? I mean, you could still mail them. Yeah, it's good insight.
Yeah, I saw Ben say something too about how you're approaching him too, is with a pretense of like possibly giving them the relist, so they're more open to talk to you. So they're like, hey, I just want some free value from you, and I don't want to work with you at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think it's good to talk to those agents too, and just ask them questions and try to get insight, and then you'll find the good ones doing that. So that when you actually, if you do end up on a listing with them, you already got your guy,
I got a quick question I'm sending out the first group of mailers, and in the program, it says when you're starting out anywhere between 4,000 to 5,000 mailers a month. Do you suggest like sending out like one big mailer to a county in 1 month, or breaking them down to like 1,000 mailers and just shooting out 1,000 pieces of mail to some different counties every week?
Let's see. I really think you have two, like, so you're saying you want to send 1,000 to different counties, right?
Yeah, basically I have 4,000 or 5,000 to work with for the month. Am I better off just keeping it to one location in one county and just like different areas of that county?
No,
or am I
definitely go
like diversifying a little bit?
Diversify a little bit, because I have markets that literally get 0 responses on, but then I get other markets that I get 20 contracts. It's like total parallels. I don't understand it. Like the one, Warren County, North Carolina, we mailed that county. I only sent 1,400 letters to that county. I got 35 leads. We contracted, I think, 14 properties, right? And I think we're actually going to close on like 7 of them because a lot of them like went to crap with like, they don't have easements, this and that, whatever. And then the same exact time that I mailed Warren County, I mailed 3 other counties, crickets, literally got nothing. And then I went and I mailed a couple other counties, crickets. And then I hit another county and all of a sudden I got like 10 responses. So it's so much like when you're zooming in and just trying to do one county, it might not work. You got to kind of put your eggs in a couple different baskets and see what happens.
Yeah.
But just make sure your sample size is big enough.
4 counties in September, and you just hit them with 1,300 mailers a county for a total of like 5,000 mailers for the month. And
Okay.
4 different counties in 1 month.
Yeah, I would definitely say at least 4. I think it's good. Spread it a little bit. I typically mail at least 4 to 6 counties a month. Try to spread it out a little bit. I don't like putting all my eggs in one basket. It's just too much because
you hear somebody to split test a 2-page blind offer letter versus a blind offer postcard.
that's what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to do here is blind offer postcard versus like a 2-page and just see what happens. So yeah, I have a friend of mine, he's mailing as well. So what I told him, I said, hey, let's do this. Let's do legit split tests. I mail a list, you mail a list. You mail it with this, I mail it with this. Whatever deals come in, we just split. And he's like, okay, sounds like a plan. Mailing to the exact same address at the exact same time. There's no truer split test. And it'll be 2 different companies. It'll be Cash for Land and his company, both going to mail the exact same list. And then we're going to just see like, okay, our postcard got this, but our letter got this. Like there's no better split test than that, So I'll see what it comes out to be. We're probably going to be doing that mid-September, I'd say, or maybe mid-October, and we'll test out that exact stuff. And we both said like, let's send out 10,000 pieces each in different types of, layouts and just see what happens. So I definitely think it's worth trying it. Okay, so let's change all this to the not busy. Pop-ins, no real estate, 100% on the closings on the hidden fees. I'm just going to contact us for your offer. Call us at over buyer phone. Perfect. Your website. I'm curious how this would actually translate.
Do you send out the unique offer codes as well? And like when they go to your website, like is that like a unique URL that
Yeah, I always put a mailer ID, and then when Pat Live gets the call, they say, "What's your APM? What's your mailer ID?" Because everything is done on the properties list, like through the mailer ID and the APN. So I want to get both, so that this way, if they get one wrong, I get the other one. Basically. So, let's see.
So talking websites real quick, is anybody using Pebbles for acquisitions? Because I have my own for Dispo, and obviously I don't want to put that email address on these. I mean, they're going to find them trying to hide it. They'll put it, I don't need to put it right in front of their face. Is anybody using Pebble, and how's that cost compared to what you guys are using?
I was using it for a while, and I canceled it after the first year. I really wasn't getting a lot of people that went to the website to submit their information. Pretty much everybody was calling. So I canceled the Pebble website, and I found a guy on not Fiverr. What's the other one where everybody goes?
For yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
And for like $300, the guy is gonna make me a real simple website that just has like a form on it, and they can put their name, their contact information, and then their offer code. And it's like $300 one time. He said he can go back and make tweaks if I need him to. So that's a heck of a lot cheaper than using.
Brad, you can also, because I just did one for for Pat Live. I'm pretty sure you can make one in Pebble. It's just like a landing page that just has a form that they input.
Without using the website?
I think so.
Really?
Let me see. I think when you're, sorry, you guys keep going.
No, you're good.
But yeah, I was actually using, I got more use out of the disposition website because it just made it easy to put like all of the property information in one place. And then if somebody, you know, if I had a buyer that wanted information, I could just send them, you know, the information from the website. But yeah, the acquisition website, I just wasn't getting a whole lot of use out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when you're in the seller inbox in Pebble, if you go to settings under lead forms, that's the lead. I created the lead form the same as Leah's, which is what the Pat Live agent inputs directly. But if you send that URL on your mailers, then they can input that same on the same page that the Pat Live agent would.
So you know, instead of doing that, just make a QR code and let them scan it, and then it'll bring you right to that website.
I like that.
So the only reason why you have a website, it's not for properties, for people to enter properties, not for any of that stuff. Only reason why you have it is credibility. That's it. Only reason why you need a forward-facing website. So it's great to have those forms. And what you do is actually, you could go on Google domain, like Google, get a domain, pay $12 a year, set up a free website, free Google site. Takes no time if you wanted to do it. And then just embed that Pebble form right on there. So now when they go on your website, they submit that form, it gets dumped into Pebble right away. So super easy to do. But you know, it just takes time. You could have somebody do it for you too, $300, whatever you want. So
I think could go through and create one, help you create one during that challenge. So I'll report back to that and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
With Canva website, which is pretty cool. By myself, but
yeah, I mean, you could do it. It's actually not hard. I've built a couple sites, but it's just time. So I'll probably change the font on here and stuff like that, make it more attractive, but I don't hate this. I think, hey, I'm interested in making cash offer to purchase your vacant land. This your property. So I'll probably change that.
I did a range offer campaign using those postcards sometime middle of last year. And for whatever reason, people really like the fact that there's like a satellite view of their property. Every time somebody would call, they'd be like, that's really cool. You know, I get these letters all the time and I've never seen one like that. So
yep,
people like the little picture on the postcard.
That honestly, that's the one thing I was looking for, because when I did houses, I would do a similar postcard, but it would have the whatchamacallit. It would have a street view of their property. So like do a Google Street View of it. I was like, damn, that's a pretty crazy thing for them to like have to do for every property, but whatever. And if it didn't have Street View, it just did satellite. But people would say the same thing. They call up and be like, dude, how did you send a picture of my house? It's crazy. My car's in the driveway. How did you get that? I'm like, oh, it's just Google Street View. Blah, blah, blah. Like that's the reason why they called. It's crazy.
Yeah, it definitely makes you stand out. I mean, when you're doing stuff like that, obviously the goal is to just get people on the phone. And so if they're getting, 10 letters a month, but then they get this postcard and it's got a picture of their property, that's definitely, it definitely gets their attention.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. Let me just see something. I want to see, we were talking about the neighbor letter thing before. I don't actually know how to do it. That's definitely not it. So it's pretty great because it does have all this data stored already. Look at this. I don't have any of this stuff in here, but yet you click it and that's all the owners' names. So it's just linked up with, I guess, Mapbox. But then that's how they pull the data. I forget he went into, I think, campaigns, ad campaign, direct mail, campaign, neighbor. Let's just put neighbor, save, let's select. I'll have to watch the research. I don't know how to do it, but I remember watching. I was like, dude, that's awesome. And I love that you could do live split tests, like just on here too. So if you wanted to test something, you could do a live split test. So
I think there's a Leah neighborhood letter template in Pebble.
there definitely is. You know what? I actually have to reach out to Jesse because I don't have all the Leah stuff on mine because we had signed up before he finished rolling that stuff out. So you had to change it.
12 different pre-Leah ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to do that too. I got to go in there and set up all my stages and stuff, but I don't have any Leah templates.
Yeah, I gotta ask Jesse if he could do that because I gotta change all that stuff. I don't have any of that on there.
Yeah, I think her name's Tracy or something. She did it real quick for me. If you just email them, hello, whatever, they'll do it pretty quick.
Sweet. Yeah, I gotta definitely reach out to him. Hey, can you see? Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna do another Zoom in, I don't even know what time it is. 30 minutes. I'm just gonna do a YouTube live. We're gonna go over like land
It's my
vision.
day with Dennis, dude. I watched some land vision videos with you this morning, and and then we got 12:30.
Yeah, I'm doing so the next one is gonna be land vision too. We're gonna go over like I'm basically gonna do what those looms were, but like pull properties, pull lists, and do all the stuff. So
Great.
yeah,
I really appreciate it. This was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just learning. I appreciate you guys
If
too.
anybody's got any questions, I'm not a Pebble expert by any means, but I've been using it for, like I said, a little over a year now. So if anybody's got any questions, I'm in the Discord. I'm in Leah. My name's Brad. You can hit me up and I'll see if I can help you out.
Yeah, dude.
Awesome.
That'd be great. I appreciate it, man. I definitely would we'll definitely connect with you. Mark, let me know if you need help picking counties or anything like that.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, just I submitted the county market research into the coaching call
for today.
this afternoon.
Okay.
So yeah, and then the goal is to get the Pebble and the Pat live and get everything rolling so I can send out some mail soon.
Okay. who are you using for your data provider right now? Data Tree?
Data Tree.
All right. If you want, come on, if you have time, come on to the live I'm gonna do in a half hour and I'll pull some data for you and I'll just give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, just tell me where, or we could pick a county on Tableau and then I'll pull all the data and just give it to you.
Okay.
All right. This way to get
Amazing.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
That's something you're doing in a half hour or an hour?
Half hour. Yeah. I'm just gonna take the dogs for a walk and then I'm gonna come back on and do that.
Sweet.
So all right, cool guys. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Later.
See you.
All right, guys. I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna be coming back on in 30 minutes we're gonna do a walkthrough with Land Vision and talk about Land Vision. That's our data provider we're using. And kind of go over all that stuff and how we're using it. And yeah. So I'll see you guys soon. Yeah, I'll send you the Discord link. Actually, let me see. I might have it here. Let's see. Join our. Where is it? Let's see. Here's the Discord link here, bro. Sweet. All right, guys. I'll see you in a minute.